I know people want more out of Karis LeVert, but if you're expecting more out of Karis LeVert than inconsistent Karis LeVert performances, you're putting yourself in a position to have Karis LeVert let you down. And right now, the Cavs are putting themselves in position to have Karis LeVert let them down. Karis LeVert should not be starting. I understand why he's starting right now because you have some guys out, but Karis LeVert should not be starting. Once Dean Wade comes back, and maybe once you make a trade before the deadline, the goal should either be Karis LeVert shouldn't be starting, right? You're putting yourself in a position to be disappointed because I say this all the time. Karis LeVert is going to average like 15 points this year, and it's not going to be because he gives you 15 points every night. It's going to be because he gives you 40 one night, he gives you 5 one night. And today was one of them days where he gave you 2. What is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers, man? Look, when they first lost the first loss, okay, you know what I mean? Wasn't tripping. Second loss, all right, a little bit concerned. Third loss, fourth loss, and now we here, man. And it's starting to feel a bit concerning. Not like let's panic or anything like that. But it is starting to feel like a concern, right? Like all of the good grace that we had and the enjoyment that we had of this season has started to get a little weird. It's started to get a little weird, man, because they've lost 5 games in a row. And look, again, I talk about this all the time. It's not just how that you lose 5 games in a row that matters. It's how you have lost these games. And for the most part, these are almost all games that were lost in the fourth quarter. And look, these are all, for the most part, the Minnesota game was weird because you didn't have most of your starters. So you get a pass on that one. But this Milwaukee game on the road, Golden State game, Sacramento, LA, the Lakers, all of these games are on the road, and it's like, yo, what's going on with this team on the road? Why are they not able to produce at the level that we expect them to on the road? And a lot of the problems that popped up today, honestly, felt like, and a lot of the problems have been popping up during this losing streak have felt like the same exact problems that were plaguing this team last year when Jared Allen and everybody else went down, Darius Garland included, and they went on that losing streak to end the year. Now, the good news, I guess you could say, is that at least they're getting this out the way early, right? They had their hot streak early. Now we're seeing their down streak. Hopefully they get this together against the Hornets pretty soon here, because they can only afford but to drop so many games, because, well, a team that was 8-2, 8-6 now, man. 8-1, my bad. 8-1, 8-6 now. Not looking good. Their biggest problem has been 3-point defense. I'm not gonna lie. Today, the Milwaukee Bucks were making some incredible shots. I mean, you had some players throw up some incredible performances today for them. George Hill went 3 of 6, and look, I've watched George Hill a lot in Cleveland, and him going 3 of 6, that's special for him. Who else went off? There was Serge Ibaka made a 3. Like, yes, Serge Ibaka is still in the league. Yes, apparently he still shoots 3-pointers, and yeah, he made one. This dude, Beauchamp was killing us, dog. Was not Beauchamp. It wasn't Beauchamp. It was somebody else that was killing us early. Brook Lopez was killing us for sure. 7 of 9 from 3. And this wasn't a normal 7 of 9 from 3. Brook Lopez was just smacking these threes from like half court. Like, he would get so far off the line and he would just smack them. Like, just disrespectful how hard these threes were smacking the back of the net. It was like he would go up there, and you know he giant too, so he shoot like this. He would just whoosh, and then just disgustingly smacking these balls, bro. Like, don't clip that. But I hate the internet sometimes. But yeah, Brook Lopez was just straight up disrespectful in this game, man. Just straight disrespectful. Just he did not have to be this good. Brother put up 29 points. He was the high scorer. Like Giannis had 16 today, man. Giannis didn't really have a good game. 6 of 18, 16 points. Like, of course, he played well defensively. The rebounds were an absolute horror show for this team. With offensive rebounds, the Milwaukee Bucks had 13 to the Cavs 6. Defensive rebounds, the Cavs had 28 to the Milwaukee Bucks' 39. Just got murdered on the boards, got murdered on the 3-point line by Brook Lopez of all people. And what's homie's name? Dude with the afro. Yeah, Jordan Nora. He was just smacking them too. And you just, in a way, it's not really like that concerning of a loss because Brook Lopez had an unbelievable night and some dude off the bench just smacked some threes, right? But the problem is this happens all the time against the Cavs, man. And this is supposed to be a team that's a pretty good defensive team. And for whatever reason, this stuff keeps happening. In the third quarter, killed this team, man. They got outscored with 18 to 34. And I will say, when I was watching that third quarter, it didn't feel like the Cavs were playing like that bad. They weren't playing good. But it didn't feel like they were playing that bad. It felt like Milwaukee was making every shot, getting every break. It's tough, man. It's tough in the NBA. It's tough. Evan Mobley with 20 points, didn't really play too well defensively, got him some foul trouble. Well, no, he didn't get into foul trouble. My bad on that. Lamar Stevens played some decent minutes. I felt like he was, 10 minutes? It says his plus and minus is negative 16, but I felt like he was good when he was out there. He had 4 blocks, 10 points, 5 rebounds, made 2 of his 3-point attempts. A little bit out of position today, and everything else like that, but I felt like he played well. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell had a pretty good first half. I think they both had 18 in the first half, and then they just went cold as ice, dog, in the second half, like absolutely frozen. So no, and look, man, I know people want more out of Karis LeVert, but if you're expecting more out of Karis LeVert than inconsistent Karis LeVert performances, you're putting yourself in a position to have Karis LeVert let you down. And right now, the Cavs are putting themselves in position to have Karis LeVert let them down. Karis LeVert should not be starting. I understand why he's starting right now because you have some guys out, but Karis LeVert should not be starting. Once Dean Wade comes back, and maybe once you make a trade before the deadline, the goal should either be Karis LeVert shouldn't be starting. Right? You're putting yourself in a position to be disappointed because I say this all the time. Karis LeVert is going to average like 15 points this year, and it's not going to be because he gives you 15 points every night. It's going to be because he gives you 40 one night, he gives you 5 one night. And today was one of them days where he gave you 2. This is the Karis LeVert experience. I don't know why we don't act like this is not who he is. This is who Karis LeVert is. We have been continuously putting ourselves in a position to expect Karis LeVert to be something he's not. He's not going to be a consistent creator of offense. He is a dude who's either going to be hot or cold. You can play him like J.R. Smith and put him at the 2 if you have LeBron. But we don't have LeBron. So we need to put him on the bench. He is a bench scorer. He is a 6-man prototype. He is that. He's not consistent. When you consistently put him out there and expect him to be consistent, you will be consistently let down. Like that is not Karis LeVert's bag. He's like an upgraded version of Cedi Osman. He will get you buckets in a game, or he will get you absolutely nothing. That's what Karis is. That being said, I still want him on the team, but if we can get a wing for him, I ain't gonna trip on that. But overall, the Cavs got just super cold in this second half for real. They got 37 and 23 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, third quarter only 18 and 20. They went cold shooting. The Milwaukee Bucks went extremely hot in the third quarter, and that was the game that ended up being the difference there. Look, this Cavs team has the same problems they had last year. And I think some of that's because Ricky Rubio's not here. And I think some of that is because JB continues to make some of the same mistakes when it comes to some of these rotations, right? Why do we like? There was a point where we had Evan out there, Rolo out there, Isaac out there, like all these bigs, Kevin Love out there, and we getting killed by threes from Brook Lopez because we can't get to the perimeter fast enough. I understand it's early in the year and he is doing some experimenting with some of these rotations, and we're gonna have nights like this every once in a while, but it's got to get to a point to where we got to say, hey, enough is enough. We got to end this losing streak because, if this experimenting is leading to losing, then you just got to stop it. I don't think this is long-term cause for concern, but there are some things in here that I'm a little bit worried about with this team. And again, it's good that these things happen early in a way because you get to fix those things that come up early. But nonetheless, that was the Cavs game. Wanted to make sure I dropped the video because I think it's been a minute since the last video. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out tomorrow's video. Going to do the podcast with Ab. So, we have a lot of fun there. And then we'll be back talking about the Hornets game on Friday, I believe. So stay tuned. Stay subscribed. Look, I'm not about to disappear just because the Cavs went on a little losing streak. They're going to bounce back eventually pretty soon here, I'm hoping. So that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night.